Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? I was just talking on Instagram to my Fumi Nation, and I was saying that I really am at that age and stage of the channel where I want you to come onto the show, where we talk and have all of these conversations. Instead of me reciting your stories, come and tell your story, and we can share it together. Today's episode is a sister to sister, and it is by a young woman, and let us listen to her story. Evening Fumi, I would like you to share my story with your Fumi Nation. I'm a 32-year-old woman and I have 4 kids whom I love with all of my heart. I am unemployed and I'm in a very abusive marriage. My husband is a narcissist. He abuses me verbally and recently started beating me, accusing me of cheating on him with a neighbor who lives in the same estate as us. I have nothing in life for me. I'm depressed and sad. I cry all the time. I have a beauty diploma, but I can't work as he won't allow me. I know I need to leave as I'm always living in fear. I don't know what will make him angry. I need to rebuild, but I don't know how. I don't even have a saving account. Please, Fumi Nation, tell me where to start, especially the women who have been through what I'm going through. Fumi, please tell the younger girls to go to school and have their own things. Marriage will be the last thing. I am so sorry, my darling. I'm so sorry that you are going through this. It's so easy for us to sit back and say, oh, well, you know what? How can you do this? How could you have allowed this? How couldn't you have done this? I know that it takes time. They chip away at you, chip away at you, chip away at you. And one day you look into the mirror and you don't recognize yourself. You are no longer the strong, happy, wonderful woman that you once were. And children can take a lot out of you. You have 4 children. I don't know how old the youngest one is. I say this because when Adrian was born, I took 2 years off. I took 2 years off. I couldn't do everything because children need attention. And some of you know Adrian was a twin. We thought we were going to be done, but Adrian was the one that made it. And if I was younger, I would have had more children. And I wouldn't have been able to do all the things that I'm able to do. I have a loving, hands-on husband who is financially strong and can take care of us. Not everybody has that privilege. So I have empathy. I wake up every morning and I am grateful for the life that I have. I'm grateful for a healthy mind. I'm grateful for a healthy being. I'm grateful for a healthy, wonderful, happy, loving, patient husband. I'm grateful for my healthy, happy, wonderful child. So this I say to you, I empathize for all of the suffering. And he is taking charge of you because he can. It is also called control. You will have to find a way out with your kids, because if you stay there, you will mentally disappear. You will no longer be the person completely. At least now you've got the fighting spirit. At least now you know that this right here is not right. At least right now you know that this is no longer for you. We're not going to talk about what you should have done. We're going to talk about what you can do now. And I say pray. Every day go to church. Take some time out, go to church. Because your church is going to be your extended family. Why? Because at least they can intervene when it comes to the beatings. Because if it means that they're going to take you out and your children, let it be. Because sometimes we have to hit rock bottom before we can pick up again. That is your out right now. You're going to need your support system because it sounds like you're alone. You don't have family. You don't have anybody on your side. You don't have anybody who can stand up to him and say, do not touch her anymore. You touch her one more time, it's going to be a knuckle sandwich. Yes, you need somebody to frighten him because he's getting bolder and bolder and more aggressive because he can. And you're becoming weaker and weaker. You cannot do that. You cannot do that and let the children see it. They cannot see that for their own mental mind. And you cannot let your girls and sons see that to think that's okay. For your daughters to think that's okay, that's what a relationship is. For your sons to see that and say that is how a relationship should be. No, we don't want that. You have to kill this poison ASAP. So find the courage. Look for a church. That way you go and start your out. You're going to have a bank account. Go and open a bank account. You can open a bank account with £10, $10. Let them know your situation because you need to find your way out. Your beauty diploma, you're going to start. Whether it's doing makeup or hair, people coming into the house, you start doing that. You're bringing in money. And that way, he can keep his hands away from you. Because you're going to start bringing, you have to fight back because he's a bully. And he's fighting you because he does not see you fighting back. You got to be crazy up in there. You got to. I like the fact that you're advising our younger girls that, you know what, go to school, and I understand you thinking any education, it will support you so that you do not have to succumb to this. Things have changed in this world. Education is sound. And I say so because I also went to college. I think what is really important, and I say this for all the girls out there, do what you love and the money will come. Find a way to monetize what you are talented at because all of us are talented. We have that God-given talent that's different from others, that others look to us and they are struggling at what seems to come so easily to you. That is your ministry. That is where you make a headway. So go to school. If you feel that you're going to be a doctor, an engineer, accountant, or whatever, go to school as your foundation. But if you're a talented singer, you're an actor, you're a dancer, you're a model, go to those schools that will hone in onto your God-given talent and monetize it. I truly believe, take your time before you go into any marriage, any relationship. You need to know yourself. You need to know your self-worth. You need to know your standards. And you go out there and find a guy that is up to those standards. That is your life partner and you are good to go. Anybody that abuses you verbally, anybody that abuses you emotionally, anybody that abuses you physically, get out. You and your baby. You and your baby, it doesn't matter. You can marry again. You can fall in love again. I just spoke to a wonderful friend of mine, Chenyen, and he was telling me how his father passed away when he was 1, leaving his mom with 5 children. I think it was the following year or 2 years, she married again and had a 6th child, a boy. So it really is how you carry yourself. You have to be in that fighting spirit. There's no need me telling you, map out this plan. The plan right now is to gain your fighting spirit. You have to get your fighting spirit, and you're doing this for yourself and for your children. Remember that your children are watching. If you do not do this, then you are going to let these children be hurt also, mentally, emotionally, physically, because who they are as children is what they become as adults. I know this for a fact. So you have to fight. You have to fight, and by so doing, you have to have your tools. And your tools are going to be extra outside support. It means that you have to be mentally, emotionally prepared to no longer lie to yourself and know that your days in this house are now numbered. You will no longer be living in this house long term because it never was a home. It is no longer a home of nurturing. It is no longer a home of love. It is no longer a home of growth. It is now a place where it is suffocating you and it is killing you slowly. Yourself and your children, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And we can no longer have you there. I am so sorry. I will continue apologizing because I hate to hear stories like this. I want you guys to be happy, to be in productive relationships, to be doing what God has blessed you with, those talents that you are blessed with. And sometimes our journey will redirect us. It will take us in one direction that we thought once upon a time this was what we wanted. This was the man that we wanted to be with. And it is true. They will serve a purpose. And in this case, she's got 4 beautiful children. But this chapter has ended. This chapter is no longer of any service to you. You gotta go. You got to go and you've got to get out for your own future, because you will laugh again. I promise you, you will. You will laugh again. You will dance again. You might even get married again. But what you have to do now is you have to fight. And in so fighting, you have to be able to take those courageous steps out of that house. But you have to make sure that you calculate those steps, and you need outside support. And if you cannot get that, go to the police. Start to really make those steps and get out of there and get outside support. Once you get outside support, the other steps will follow, because you need a new place. You're going to need a job. You're going to start earning. And no matter how small that place is, no matter how small that place is, it's the first step to you living your life at 32. No. We're living longer these days, in our 90s. So you've got another 60 years to go. All of my love, darlings, keep me posted. Fumi Nation, you let us know down in the comment section what more can we advise our sister, if I have missed anything. And I will see all of you guys sooner than later. All of my love.